Okay, this is going to be a very complex how-to. Well, Valentine's Day is coming.
Yes.
It's a good time to talk about heart health, or
True.
scratch that, CPR.
Yes.
What does that stand for? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
We're not that knowledgeable, but we've been giving it a lot of thought, and we are going to take a class. Now,
It's really good to take a class so you know exactly
It's
how
very
to do
good.
it right.
don't listen to us, assume we are idiots who know nothing, but we want to bring awareness to this, and like I said, we thought Valentine's Day is a good day to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I've never taken a class. You have. In fact, you've been certified.
Yes.
Okay.
I've taken 2 classes, but they've been years. It's been years.
Okay.
And I think that it's something where that if you don't do it all the time, you need to re-certify, educate yourself probably every year or so.
Okay. But with that being said, and again, we recommend you get certified with that. But with that
Yes.
being said, you can save a life even without being educated,
Which you have done.
which I have done.
Yes.
I have saved not only a life, but my precious mother, who died in my car. And that quick story goes like this. We had situated her in an apartment building where she would be close by, across the street
Right across the street
from our housing complex.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
It was out of my neighborhood, across the main road that serviced that area, and then that was the driveway of that complex. So I took her out of our driveway, turned down our little street, down the main street through our neighborhood to that cross section, and I was talking to her and she wasn't responding, and I turned and I said, "Ma," and I looked at her and she was like this, breathless, lifeless, and blue.
Ugh, God, that's so
And
scary.
I was in shock, and I looked at the street in front of me, and I looked both ways, and I floored it across. I was all on instinct then. Across that main road into her parking lot. It was later in the evening. It was dark. Nobody was out there. Jumped out, ran around the van, opened her door, released her seatbelt, and jerked her out, put her on the ground, and I started pumping her chest. There was no breath. I listened, and I kept pumping and pumping. "Mom, Mom, Mom!" And I put my mouth over her mouth and held her nose. I knew she wasn't obstructed. I knew that her heart had stopped. And she started breathing. And I called emergency services. They were pretty prompt. They came. The rest is history, but my mother survived.
For a while longer.
I did another interesting part of that story is I lived with guilt because I kind of felt like I should have let her go. The reason why is she had been suffering immeasurably
Yeah.
with heart and lung problems.
Yeah.
And I thought, she had finally was checking out, and I thought, man, if I had let her go.
But like on instinct, you just were like, live.
That's my mom, live. And she said, "I want to live."
Yeah.
That was the thing, is my mother was fearful, and she was fearful of death, and I couldn't make that decision for her then and there.
Yeah.
I did, however, later have to make it, but those are other stories. But I didn't have to be educated, and
It's kind of like we've
it's
all
kinda-
seen it in the
we've
movies.
seen it in the
We
movies.
kinda know how to do it.
If you've seen emergency television shows like reality shows,
Yeah.
you've seen it.
I mean, it's basically massaging the heart back to beating.
Yeah. So in spite of the somewhat humorous video of you and I doing CPR on each other, we did manage to save each other.
We did.
Yeah, we're both
still here.
We both came out of it, but although that's humorous to see, this is a serious matter. We get that, but you should get educated.
But if you're not and you have a problem, don't get psyched out.
Don't
just
freak.
do
Yeah,
it.
call 911 or have
Is
somebody
what you
else.
did. I mean, it just kind of your instinct takes over.
Yes, have somebody call 911 for you. Put it on speakerphone. They can walk you through it in case you're doing it wrong or you just don't know how to do it. But it's just a matter, ultimately, of pumping the chest.
Compression.
It is surprisingly simple. However, as you said, they complicate the heck out of it.
They do it when you're in the class. It just seems a lot more complicated than
Because
it really is.
there are things like the person could be obstructed.
True.
You don't know
Yeah.
if it's a heart.
You have
If it's
to check
that's a
their
completely
mouth
different thing. Yeah, you
Tongue,
check
make
the
sure
airway.
the tongue's not
Yeah.
slipping back there. Yeah.
So we should get certified in
We're going to.
CPR, and then the Heimlich is where you just put your thumb.
Well, it's a
You make a
certain way
fist
you
and
do
you
it.
put
like
your
with
thumb between. I think it's halfway between the belly and the up and the bottom of the rib cage,
Mm-hmm.
and you
I
pull.
think it's this part of your hand that you use.
Let me see.
This part. And you just.
Stand up.
Oh no,
I wish we had a ping pong.
I don't.
And
No,
I think you make a fist like
Yeah,
this, and you put your
I
thumb
don't
right in
know.
there.
Oh, I don't know.
And I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But then you say, "Ma'am, are you ready for the Heimlich?" Chrissy, pulling her against. But we don't know, so don't do that. But if you feel like you have to,
Well, yeah, if it's an emergency situation.
but if they're breathing or if they're coughing, you don't do it.
Right.
Right.
Because if they're coughing, that means they're breathing.
And what's the
And
universal?
if they can talk,
what's
they're
the
breathing.
universal sign for choking?
Choking is hands.
Yeah. That's what you
put
say.
your
That's what you
hands
do
on
if
your
you can't. If your airway is blocked, you're choking. You just go. We were once on a plane.
Oh yeah.
And we were looking down the aisle, just sitting there, and we saw the flight attendant, and she said, "Sir." And we looked up. She was talking to a man in first class. She said, "Sir, are you ready for the Heimlich?" And he went,
Yes.
she said, "Stand up." And she got him up, and she went, "Pop, pop, pop," and he shot food out.
It was a big piece of meat, big
Yeah.
chunk of meat.
First class. Those people
First
in
class,
their damn
baby.
filet mignon.
We got bumped to first class
You
by accident.
you take a bite of the filet and a sip of the champagne. That's why they give you the bubbly.
Ooh. That sounds good.
We hope that you will consider getting educated. We hope that you are lucky enough to save a life if need be,
Yeah.
and that life may be a precious family member. So look into it.
It's good to know.
At least remember that you can look online and see people who are much more knowledgeable than we are. And
Hey, maybe someday we'll be so knowledgeable we'll teach a course.
I think that's great.
Good.
Anything like that you can learn where you can so easily help
Yeah.
a victim who's dying, I think is great.
Yeah.
All right, happy Valentine's Day to you all.
Happy
and
Valentine's Day.
We thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and also be sure to read the description and leave comments or read the comments for further information and entertainment and edification. All right.
Okay.
Look at
Good
you.
job.
You lived.
We lived. Yay!